Marcus Bontempelli at the end of this year is an unrestricted free agent, as he has served the Bulldogs for longer than 10 years. Now, when you're in the 8 to 10 year bracket, you're a restricted free agent, especially if you are in the top 25% of your club's earnings, which Bont would be in top 0.001%. So there's that. So guess what? If we were to chase Bontempelli with what we've got, our draft hand, our picks, like you have to understand, we don't need to give any of that away. We can get Marcus Bontempelli to the club without having giving up any picks. And now I'm getting a little bit nervous because I was a little bit concerned that maybe he had signed a contract recently, but he hasn't. So we stay on the path of this conversation. So we don't give up any picks, much like we did with Harry Perryman. Western Bulldogs, they'll get their compensation, and Collingwood could be laughing to the bank with this one. He turns 30 late this year, and 30 really is the new 27, 28. I mentioned this week that in 2014, the league had only 60 players over the age of 30. In 2024, we have over 120 players over the age of 30 playing footy, right? So the question that I want to propose is, who's to say Bont isn't wanting a fresh change? Does he want to be a captain of a footy club? Does he want a fresh start? Does he want a new coach? Does he want new perspectives? Does he want to be around new players? Is he looking for a change? Does he want to come to a top 4 club or a big 4 Victorian club and get to experience what it's like to play in front of 100,000, sorry, not 100,000, but 80,000 week in, week out in front of the biggest army that the land has to offer? Does he want to play with the likes of Pendles, who can teach him, if he doesn't know already, how to extend his career for as long as possible? Does he want to play with the potential future GOAT of the league, Nick Dacos? And then what does he add? Well, what doesn't he add? He's an inside player. He's an outside player. He can play forward. He can do everything. Just imagine Bont and Nick Dacos as your 1-2 punch for the next 5 years. And the fact that Bont can play forward, why can't he play to 36, 37, 38 if he just sits forward and pinch hits in the midfield? I don't see why we wouldn't entertain the prospect of Bont coming if he's an unrestricted free agent. Clearly, he's got his contract talks on hold. I think there's something to read into this. I know it's very early. But this is going to come out sooner rather than later. I feel like clubs are going to be chasing him heavy while he's currently uncontracted for next year. Hey, Anthony, as much as what you say is possible at the end of the day, Bont would want to be a one-club player. He's their greatest player, and he wouldn't want to tarnish that. Are there players who have gone to other clubs who were probably considered one club, would be considered one club players? Luke Hodge, Sam Mitchell, Lance Franklin. It's possible. What have you thought Dale Thomas and Heath Shaw would have gone to other clubs in the league? Anything's possible. I think if there's an enticing offer on the table to move to a big club like Collingwood, I think it'd be naive for him not to consider it. Is there any validity to this? I haven't heard this anywhere about the Bont. So we're just hypothesizing, and it makes sense to talk about this. And these conversations will develop over the course of the year with Bont. He's an unrestricted free agent. He hasn't signed his contract at the Dogs. So I feel like this is something that will definitely be spoken about more. Maybe I'm a little bit ahead of the curve. Andreas, track, LDU, and route are the only 3 I think. Bont, we 100% will go for, but I doubt he will move. Imagine if he does. We'll also have a salary cap issue. I believe we brought on Perryman for 900 per year. Who knows what we brought Houston for? Like I said, with the CBA, like the bargaining agreement, going up. each year. So you can have 2 to 3 million. We're going to have $2 to $3 million players on each list as the years go by within the next 5 years. We'll have minimum two retirements at the end of this season. Cox and Howe, there's well over 1 million season there alone. There you go. Hopefully, by the way, I hope Jeremy Howe doesn't retire. We're just hypothesizing and considering, I guess, permutations around Bont and other players. As I've mentioned, four other players, but Bont in particular is unrestricted free agent. So I'm just planting this seed nice and early, and just just provoking some thoughts because an unrestricted free agent who hasn't signed on yet, nursing a 6-week calf injury at a club that has a lot of pressure on him at the moment, maybe some cultural issues or some division within against between players right now, worth worth the mention.